A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John, chapter 2, verses 13 to 22. The passage is taken from the Message version of the Bible. When the Passover feast, celebrated each spring by the Jews, was about to take place, Jesus traveled up to Jerusalem. He found the temple teeming with people selling cattle and sheep and doves. The loan sharks were also there in full strength. Jesus put together a whip out of strips of leather and chased them out of the temple, stampeding the sheep and cattle, upending the tables of loan sharks, spilling coins left and right. He told the dove merchants, "Get your things out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a shopping mall." That's when his disciples remembered the scripture, "Zeal for your house consumes me." But the Jews were upset. They asked, "What credentials can you present to justify this?" Jesus answered, "Tear down this temple, and in 3 days I will put it back together." They were indignant. "It took 46 years to build this temple, and you are going to rebuild it in 3 days? But Jesus was talking about his body as the temple. Later, after he was raised from the dead, his disciples remembered he had said this. They then put 2 and 2 together, and they believed both what was written in Scripture and what Jesus had said. The Gospel of the Lord.
Sense of holy makes God's dwelling. The Master asks his disciples, "Where does the Most High dwell?" They replied, "He dwells in the heavens." The Master concluded, "The Most High lives only where he is allowed to enter." The temples may remind mere magnificent structures and huge spaces of the animation of some ceremonies and organization of some events and celebrations, but not a dwelling place of God when the intention of its establishment and of people are defective. Because God's temples are abodes of unity, surrender, and serenity, and springs of strength, and renewal of souls and relationships. When our intentions become integral and transcendent, everything will reveal sacredness. Jesus in today's Gospel charges people who treated everyone and everything as product to be exchanged or bargained. Because God's dwelling cannot be reduced into a place of exchange between supply and demand. Such a loss of the sense of the sacred is not only a matter that pertains to religion, it leads to the loss of the basic sense of dignity and reverence toward life and human persons themselves. God cannot be bought with sacrifices. He loves us and expects from us a free heart that responds to his love. God cannot be merited, but welcomed with a humble heart. Prophet Ezekiel indicates this divine presence and action through the symbolism of the temple water. It has the efficacious power to refresh, enliven, nourish, and heal. In a culture of consumerism, which proposes a subjective value, depends on their utility than their true value, there is a tremendous decline of the sense of integrity and simplicity. Thereby, we have lost sight of the truth that we are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in us. Instead of bargaining and contracting with God, let us allow Him to visit all the rooms in our hearts, that He may make place for everything and everything in its original place. Let us preserve the external and internal beauty of the temple by reawakening the sanctity of the temple, the community, and the human person. When our communities and each of us become more holy, our temples become truly houses of God, thereby our life itself may become meditation and prayer.